Okay, Ashutosh, you're able to hear me?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay, so congratulations first and foremost, and
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I know it has been a little late. I'm not sure.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so quickly, I would like to know, first a little bit about yourself. What exactly are you doing? Give me a little bit about your background.
So, like from a qualification perspective, it's not much. I just completed my graduation a few years back, and after that, I'm working with Accenture as a credit analyst. Uh, yeah, so that's it. Nothing much about my qualifications.
Okay, and your graduation was into?
In BCom from MIT University.
Okay. So where and how you came to know about FRM and what actually motivated to take up FRM?
So when I was in last semester of my college, actually everyone was actively looking for an MBA, and that's also like what I went for. I talked to few of my professors. They said like go for an MBA. It will be easier. Like you will do an MBA in 2 years, and after that you can pick a job and work. But I was not really wanting to do an MBA because I thought that it will be great if I can do it after some work ex and all. So I approached one of my finance professor, and she told me that you can look for a course. Actually, I approached her for CFA, but she actually told me that like after seeing you for a lot of time, I should tell you that you should try FRM if it interests you. So that's how I came to know about FRM, and after that I looked up into the whole curriculum, and it was really nice to look how simply a course is just dedicated particularly for a single topic. So yeah, it was something to look, and after that I thought like, yeah, well, I can do a FRM.
So you decided to pursue FRM at exactly which point in time? I mean, I can understand that you have talked about your faculty actually counseling and actually, consulting you. But at what point in time you decided to pursue FRM? And were you already a student? You still a student, or you were already working that point in time?
So when I so actually what happened after completing my graduation, I went for CAT preparation. But I failed in that. I failed really badly because I was not able to connect with the syllabus. I really didn't connect it anywhere that why I need to calculate time and speed and all. Although I just want to do an MBA in finance. So after failing there, I thought ultimately I have to do something in finance. I have to pursue like MBA in finance. So why not take the other route and look for the other alternatives which are there? And because I was aware about FRM, so I thought there is something which is already in industry and which is gold standards in industry. So I should take that route also. It's not always an MBA which can really bring everything. So I think in December 2020, I finally decided that now no more MBA. I want to do a FRM. So after that, I started preparing for FRM. Yeah.
In this evolving market like India, do you believe that charter and finance courses or certification courses like FRM can be a good substitute to MBA finance?
Yeah, I think so. Just because in India particularly, there are a few colleges which are elite, and that too, like passing after passing a CAT exam, let's say scoring 99 percentile in CAT, people generally don't end up in getting IIMs. There are very few people which end up doing there. And doing an MBA from tier 2 or tier 3 universities is actually not worth it. So ultimately, but also we have courses such as FRMs and the CFA, where people can learn what exactly is in like going in the industry. In India, we have a tendency to follow syllabus which is not very updated or not relevant. Teachers end up just talking about theory portions and just making whole of the story. So I don't feel that regular college is more beneficial now, especially in India.
What resources, how did you approach your study plan, and what were the resources that you used? What were the study duration?
So, so my approach is like I never focused on number of hours I spent for preparation. It was always that how much topic I'm covering each day. Generally, what I feel that FRM Part 1 will take somewhere around 2.5 months to cover whole of things. So I started my preparation from the topics which I had earlier studied in graduation or due to my interest in finance. So I might have ended up reading it somewhere. So I took up those topics. It was options and all. So after doing that, I approached for other topics. And yeah, but in the whole syllabus, so there is a pattern. If that is not, I haven't taken it as a four book. I have taken it as a whole group. So I believe there is a total of five categories. One is options, other is bonds, third one is quantitative, which is book two, that is the whole other thing, and one is theory portions. From book two also, like time series, that two chapters in book two of time series, and book four, top three chapters. So these five, I think it's a one group. So there are total five groups, and one can approach one group at a time, cover whole things up, and then move to the next group. Yeah. So that
Excellent.
is what I did.
I think your perspective brings in a very fresh way of looking at things. I myself have never thought it that way. But now that you have actually told that in as many words, I think yes, that does make sense. That rather than looking them as separate books, one should look at the commonalities between the different topic areas and where they connect the dots. And it always makes sense if you actually pursue one topic area at one go, regardless of the books. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that does make sense.
like in book three we have options. So people are starting with options from book three. Book three generally covers the basics of options, and then we can directly jump to book four and option Greeks and binomial. So all those options are just a one group. I have
Yes,
never taken it like other things. So it is always easier to deal in that way,
correct.
especially from book two where we have more of quants. So generally from people, for people like me who are not mathematical background, so we find it more challenging to deal
Hmm.
with that. So book two, I never just try to finish everything in once. I read it once, then left it for some time, build some practice questions, then again and approach it. Yeah, that's.
Okay. So, given that you were working, so how did you manage the time schedule? Because a lot of our viewers and audience, they are also young professionals or even mid-level professionals like you. So how did you manage? I mean, did you consistently study for even 1 hour or 2 hour every day, or you left the entire study for the weekends? How did you manage?
Uh, so so when I started my preparation, first thing was I just skimmed all of this curriculum. Then I built it into two categories. One was things which I know. One is things which I have never seen in my life. So now that grouping thing, five groups. After that, I have five groups. I want to pick a group, and other thing, especially from book one, which is mostly of theory and easy, all are easy things. So I had a approach like to read three readings in a day, every day. because I just want to complete the syllabus as soon as I can, so that I can revise it again.
Three
So
readings in a
three
day.
readings, yeah. So readings, it will not be like everything from just one single topic. If I'm going to approach it that way, it is not going to work. So let's say 2 chapters from book 1 and one complicated topic. Let's say from book 2 or book 4. Or else if I'm doing a difficult topic from something, so I will just balance it out, somewhat balance it out. Okay. Theory portions, generally 2 theory portions in a day, then 1 numerical portion. So this was my approach, and especially from work, like we all are doing work from home, so we can pull out some time. Yeah.
How was the exam overall? I mean, you may not want to discuss this specific question, but GARP allows us definitely to discuss the various flavor of the question, whether people go with the focus that I may expect a very quantitative question, because that's the notion normally generally people have, and they're taken by a surprise when it's not up to their expectation and the whole paper seems to be qualitative. So how was your question paper? How was your program set?
So my question paper, I faced almost around 60% of question was numerical. It is strange, but it was what I felt. And after that, what I have known from the industry, that GAP used to ask numerical questions a lot previously, before the CBT format. But the CBT format allows them to ask more of theoretical questions, as in they can cover more theory on a single screen. So now they have more like areas for to put questions up or build up the whole questions. Now coming to that qualitative or quantitative base, so there is a shift or a change in the pattern how GAP asks question now. That is surely there. We can look any of the test providers which are currently catering FRM whole thing, examinations. So they all are focusing on doing numerical questions. They are still believing that somewhere GAP will ask a numerical question. But now they have completely shifted to application based, and that to decision making application based questions. They're not going to ask simply a question on application. They will build a scenario in a question where you have to take a decision, and the decision will be based on the application. So it's more of a decision based application questions. Yeah.
So, yeah, you're saying something?
No, continue.
Okay. So your idea is that mostly the questions are application based, and they prompt you and they force you to make your choice as you would have in a real life scenario. In that sense, the questions are very practical in nature. Is that what you would imply?
Yeah, questions are more of practical nature. Like let's say if they are going to ask an information ratio, although it's not certain that it will appear, but let's say they are asking questions on an information ratio, so they will build a scenario that portfolio manager is achieving this much and other portfolio manager achieving this much. Now they will give 4 options for the information ratio. Also they will ask which one is doing more better. So you have to like completely complete understanding of the topic. Yeah. So that is there. And for the resources, it's totally subjective, but a lot of people use Swiss notes. I haven't found them any interesting for me, because already whole of the topics are already concise. Now Schweizer is concising that to a very high level. Just giving a 1 line or 2 line is not enough, especially the approach what GAP is now taking in questions, as they are going more theoretical. So it requires a deeper understanding. So I used Bionic Turtle notes, and for question bank, for bonds specifically, I used Bionic Turtle and risk sizer question bank. Yeah.
On a scale of let's say 1 to 10 in terms of difficulty, where do you think FRM Part 1 would be?
Somewhere around 8. Actually, it's more how you are approaching the examination. Okay. It's not a very difficult exam, not a very easy exam. You see, generally, after reading, we can determine the areas from where CAP can ask a question. That is sure shot. From 100 questions, we can generally determine around 15 questions which can be asked. There is a high chance. So 15 questions are sure shot. Other we have to prepare, and the passing percentage is also like somewhere around 50s. So yeah, I think it's 8.5, but it's more how you are approaching the total preparation thing.
And if you were to capitalize on this qualification of yours, which industries do you believe in India or abroad will be helpful? I understand that you're working right now in Accenture. So in your present organization or any other particular industry that you aspire to once you have your FRM charter with you or you have passed your Part 2 exam?
I would like to work in credit, in credit industry.
Okay. So if I may understand, the credit industry would be banks or investment?
Yeah, banks, investment banks, or any financial institution, especially the rising of fintech companies. So they are really building good products around technology. So that is something I can like look.
Do you believe that FRM is going to help you in that?
Yeah, I think so, surely. Because all companies have to face a risk. There is some risk with every company. So I think it will be helpful.
Any particular advice that you would like to give to the future aspirants or who will be taking up FRM Part 1 exam?
Just read as much as you can. So the thing is how I for last days, so how it happens when we read. So first time we read, it will take 2 hours to complete a reading. Second time we will read, it will take a half an hour. Eventually time will come, and it will come just before the exam, like 1 night 2 night before the exam. So at that point of time, it will be like in just 5 minutes or 2 minutes you can go through whole of the reading. So just keep on reading, because actually, so I'm not like telling the question, but there was a question in my exam, and GAP asked about 2 company names which they have discussed in one of example in their books.
Okay.
So it's very easy to miss a company name which GAP is just texting, okay, these companies do this. So we can easily miss those. So just keep on reading as much as you can. That is what like it will really help you, especially with uh, theoretical exams, like how the GAP is more approaching it.
So Ashutosh, as I gather, as part of suggestion, what you were saying or what worked for you is you must have at least 2.5 to 3 months in your time horizon for leading up to the exam. That's the minimum time frame that you're saying. If somebody can, somebody can provide more than that, or somebody can avail more time than that, then it will be all the more beneficial. Second, you're saying that you're very traditional in the sense that you say that don't worry about too much of a prep provider or any particular provider. Not that I'm deriding any prep provider, but you're saying that don't go by the notion that a one-line summary statement will do the job for you. No, GARP is never going to test you like that. So you must focus on reading and assimilating as much as possible. So that would mean that the future aspirants of FRM they must actually commit to actually studying, putting in those many hours. Those are required, right? And something which actually gets passed for the first time over a period of couple of hours, the second pass onwards, you will see that that particular topic area and the content of that chapter would not take more than half an hour, and succeedingly it will take lesser time. So that's the one of the key reasons that you're saying. And anything else that passed as part of the practice area also, because a lot of emphasis is being actually given on the practice area as well.
So practice area in the sense practical questions.
Yes, I mean, you have those Q banks or Moxies, etc. So what is the importance of them?
So one thing is, there is nothing or no substitute for self-study.
Okay.
Even if you are taking, let's say, coaching from any of the institute, so actually that test institute or the institute provider is not taking exam every time, and the pattern is evolving. Sometime it will be something, sometime it will be different. So the historically what has happened, you should not rely on that and that numerical thing. So once you build a clear understanding of how the instrument is behaving, then I don't think you need to practice a lot of questions really to do well in exam.
Okay.
Also from an exam perspective, not from a learning perspective. So GAP will not give you questions which will take a lot of time to solve it. So you can smartly prepare during last stage, like leaving out the questions which you think is quite complex to solve in exam conditions. So, and after that, I think reading, especially question banks. So what currently the GAP or how exactly the GAP is asking questions now, I don't find those type of questions in any of the question bank. So ultimately it's boiled down to how well you have prepared. I don't think there is nothing more in terms of preparation. It's just how you are preparing and how well you are with your preparation.
So your emphasis always has been that solidify your concepts, work on forming your base so that you're prepared for any surprises. So don't find a shortcut by relying on certain question bank only, or thinking that, you know, I have practiced so much of quant, why the actual exam was so qualitative, I could not come in, or formula regurgitation, something which also I teach my students, or actually the ones whom I facilitate. The overemphasis on formula, avoid that. GAP will not test you a plug and chug kind of thing. Okay.
So actually, I remember, in the whole preparation, I never remembered a single formula. It was whole conceptual, and I still that I can make up formula from the beginning. So I've never remembered any formula. Yeah.
Okay. So one last question, Ashutosh. I presume that you will be taking on Part 2 exam.
Yeah. So I think I'm planning for May.
This May only?
Yeah, this May.
Okay. So I think Part 2 is a bit more challenging than what Part 1 is, given the vastness of the syllabus. Almost course content wise, it is almost 50% more of what Part 1 syllabus would be.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
just
presume
I'm trying to build something what I built for FRM Part 1, so that I can approach the whole syllabus in a correct way, because a single wrong definition will take up time and then everything will be destroyed at the end. Yeah.
I'm sure that you would succeed this one as well. All the very best, Ashutosh. It was a pleasure working with you, and I wish you all the very best in your forthcoming exam. Thanks for giving us time.
Thanks.